A very good morning to all the viewers and listeners of Hello Kolkata, Kolkata Calling podcast series. This special edition of Hello Kolkata is in partnership with Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, BCC&I, for the 17th edition of the Business IT Conclave, 𝗵𝗵𝘁26. Kolkata Calling is extremely proud to come on board as the community partner for 𝗵𝗵𝘁26 as we collaborate to bring conversations around technology, enterprise transformation, AI, cybersecurity, innovation, and the growing role of Kolkata and Eastern India in the digital economy. Over the coming weeks, we'll be speaking with leaders, innovators, and ecosystem builders shaping the future of business and technology. And today, for our viewers and listeners, we have a very special surprise, a very special leadership conversation with 3 stalwarts. But before I introduce them, let me quickly set the context for 𝗵𝗵𝘁26. In a time where technology is changing faster than we can imagine, and it's no longer just supporting businesses, it's fundamentally shaping how businesses, people, companies operate, compete, and grow. We have seen AI and automation take center stage, cybersecurity, cloud ecosystems, connected enterprises are everywhere. And today organizations are navigating rapid transformation and rethinking the future of work for themselves and for their customers. And that is what makes the theme of 𝗵𝗵𝘁 so relevant. The theme for 𝗵𝗵𝘁26 is Beyond Boundaries, Empowering Enterprises Through Emerging and Connected Technologies. And it aims to bring together leaders across the industry, technology, policy, innovation to discuss how these emerging technologies are reshaping the future of enterprise and creating new opportunities for Kolkata, Eastern India, and beyond. So without further ado, let me introduce our 3 very special guests today in no particular order. I will introduce them and I'll add all of them onto the main stage and we'll start our podcast. First, Dr. Chiranjib Bhattacharya. He is the chairperson of the IT committee of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry and also the CEO and director of Wizertech Informatics. With leadership experience spanning HCL, Oracle, consulting, systems integration and digital transformation, he brings decades of expertise across enterprise technology, strategic transformation and ecosystem building. He's also deeply involved in academia, in entrepreneurship, mentorship, and technology advisory. So we'll welcome Chiranjib sir in a moment. Our next speaker and next guest is Partha Sengupta. He is the co-chairperson of the IT committee at the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry and senior vice president and head of IT shared services at ITC Limited. With over 2 decades at ITC and deep expertise across enterprise IT infrastructure, cybersecurity, shared services, and technology operations, Partha sir brings a highly practical perspective on building resilient and scalable enterprise systems. And last but not the least, Mr. 𝗵𝗵𝘁𝗆𝗃. He is the co-chairperson of the IT committee of Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the group chief digital officer at 𝗕𝗵𝘁 𝗆𝗂𝘃 Group, where he leads the digital data, AI, and technology agenda across a diversified US $10 billion conglomerate spanning 38 countries and beyond and multiple sectors. With leadership journeys across TCS, HCL, and 𝗕PSG, he brings a rare blend of operator, consulting, and enterprise transformation experience. So with that, let me invite all our guests onto the main stage. Hello, Chiranjib sir. Hello, 𝗵𝗵𝘁 sir. Hello, Partha sir. It's a real pleasure and treat to have 3 stalwarts of the industry in this conversation with Hello Kolkata.
Hello Kolkata.
Hello. Okay, so gentlemen, we have a full house. So let me start with Chiranjib sir first.
Okay, thank you so much. To answer this question, let's start with digital disruption. So we are supposed to be in a digital age, and disruption and transformation is getting a lot of hype around it for the right reasons. Digital technology has displayed profound impact across industries, enabled companies like Facebook, Amazon, etc. But that also does not mean that incumbents do not have opportunities. Digital disruption creates huge huge opportunities for incumbent companies as well. Amazon, starting as an online retailer, would actually evolve into a cloud computing stalwart globally. Who imagined that a company like John Deere, starting with farm engines and tractors, would actually evolve into a company who develops such high quality analytics software. So today's connected world, actually, in today's connected world, competitive advantage comes from building a platform or an ecosystem, not from products alone. Therefore, you would see thermostat companies graduating into building smart homes. Some AC manufacturer or AC repairer evolves into a smart home. Hence, industry boundaries are completely blurred, and smart connected devices are creating new age companies, creating new competition. You don't know which company will become. In these changed times, obviously, we thought that beyond boundaries would be the ideal thing for our BITC.
Sure. Very beautifully said, Chiranjib sir. And taking that theme forward, Partha sir, apnar kache I'll come. From your lens, let's say from an enterprise infrastructure and operations perspective, beyond boundaries is coming with this BITC 26. What are the biggest shifts happening in these sectors, enterprise infrastructure, operations, from your lens?
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a great question. Like you're asking to know that that how do you do the shift? What is the biggest shift which is happening in the industry? The biggest shift is, in my view, is moving away from just running a software to building an ecosystem, to building an ecosystem powered by a smart AI engine. That's the shift. Okay, right now what we see is the large enterprises is to use dozens of different software tools across various departments that do not talk to each other. So whenever they talk, they talk minimally. They don't talk very well. It is like having an orchestra and all, where every musician is playing their different song. And the shift, what is happening today, is the introduction of a contextual model, which acts like a master conductor of everything. The central AI understands the unique language, rules, goals of the enterprise businesses of completely, and then the central AI will having to manually jump between different tools and softwares to get the job done. This autonomous AI agents can look at big picture, talk to all other different software systems simultaneously, and handle complex workflows. So this takes the friction out of daily operation, and businesses can operate much faster than they used to do previously.
Yeah. Now, and sir, if I take the liberty of tying it back to the theme, the boundaries within the organizations have disappeared. Now it's beyond boundaries. This autonomous agentic architecture is flowing throughout the organization. I'll come to Amitabh sir. Amitabh sir, while there has been digital transformation happening in organizations for decades, but has this now started moving into, as Partha sir was saying, into an AI-led enterprise reinvention? Do you see that happening around you, in your organization and beyond?
Thank you, Shubhit. In very simple words, yes. There has been a very fundamental shift. So if you look at digital transformation, right, it was primarily about digitizing what already exists. So be it a process, be it a channel, be it a customer journey, digitizing something which already exists in some kind of form or shape. Now, if you look at AI-led reinvention, we are relooking at the business itself and embedding intelligence into the business so that it is a part of every decision and every workflow. So initially, if you look at classical AI, the way we used to look at it in the past, it would be a bolt-on top of digital. Now, there are three shifts that I would like to call out. The first is from automating task to augmenting judgment. So that is fundamentally a different way of looking at things. The second thing is, in the digital age, we were talking about systems of record. Now we are talking about systems of intelligence. And the third thing is, we are moving from a world where we used to do projects to products. So continuously learning, continuously improving. So the mind shift, right? The mindset has completely shifted. So, and reinvention is not really a tech budget conversation anymore. It is a business model conversation. So digital transformation, if you look at it, it was aimed at making enterprises faster. AI reinvention will make all of us smarter. That is how it is fundamentally changing.
Very nicely put. And thank you so much for setting the context of, BITC as well as this podcast going forward. Before I move into the second segment, and this is obviously very close to, BCC&I as well as to us, this sort of focuses around the business of technology in Eastern India. And as we all know, we have been part of this ecosystem. Kolkata has often been underestimated in the broader national technology landscape conversations. Maybe not so anymore, but quietly we have seen this ecosystem evolve to something that it is today. So this time I will start with 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗶𝘁𝗀. Do you see Eastern India, specifically Kolkata, approaching some kind of an inflection point for these kind of enterprise technology and GCC growth conversations, which earlier it was not as much a part?
My short answer to that is yes, and quietly so. The fundamentals are aligning. So if you look at Calcutta today, right, firstly, there is a very loyal talent pool. The second thing is there are world-class institutions here like IIT Kharagpur, IIM Calcutta, ISI, Jadavpur, IIEST, and numerous others. The third thing is that our attrition rates are lower than the southern hubs. We have better cost economics, and the infrastructure is meaningfully improving over a period of time. So if you from that context, if you look at the global GCC strategies, they are also shifting. So initially they were looking at just 2 or 3 cities, Bangalore, Hyderabad, maybe a little bit of Bombay or Delhi, right? So the new model, which will evolve, is more like a hub and spoke model. And Calcutta kind of fits in beautifully as a high quality second or third location. And there are signals we are seeing, right? We are seeing global capability centers which are expanding here, primarily with fintech and analytics for the point, at this point of time. But we are increasingly seeing a new generation of founders who are choosing to build from Calcutta rather than leave. And I think, I've been in the city for the last 4 years, and I think what is missing isn't capability. There is a lot of capability which is there. It is the narrative. I think Eastern India needs to tell its story more confidently. And I think BITC 26 is a very integral part of that storytelling. And we have to tell our story slightly differently. I think we should not aspire to become the next Bengal. There are loads of things which are down there.
Yeah.
We need to be the best that Calcutta can be. I think our narratives have to start from there.
Wonderfully said, sir. Chiranjib sir, I'll come to you. Though 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗶𝘁𝗀 sir already spoke about certain advantages from the talent side that it possesses.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, because you are an entrepreneur yourself, what advantages have you seen that Kolkata offers to business owners, entrepreneurs, from business perspective as well as the talent perspective, that we can really take advantage of in the next decade?
Yeah, most of the answers would be common with what Mr. 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗆𝗺 so correctly has said. See, extreme cost efficiency for business owners or investors, that obviously remains a major driving force. The workforce is extremely stable here, not really unstable as many other regions face. As 𝗕𝗵𝘁𝗄𝗧 sir has pointed out, a very deep academic talent pool. Then you have a critical emerging growth engine for startups. The startup ecosystem has been built quite strongly, along with obviously GCCs and tech expansion. Availability of real estate at an affordable cost, leaner operational overheads, optimized staffing costs, much higher retention of the talent pool. Obviously, the attrition rate, as he said, is very low here. Then he also spoke about strategic regional access. See, geographically, Calcutta serves as a vital economic pipeline and distribution hub for East and Northeast businesses. So any business who's looking to expand across the East and Northeast states and also access the trade corridors of South Asian business, they have a springboard in Calcutta. The other thing is the robust traditional businesses and industries like metal, steel, jute, logistics, power, etc. They are here. These businesses are less volatile, unlike many other new age businesses which may be attractive, but which may be much more volatile than these kind of stable foundational industries. And obviously, there is no endless job hopping here, so people focus on long-term stability. So for even entrepreneurs, TCO is low. So combining all this along with the quality of living, incredible cultural and gastronomic lifestyle, work-life balance, which mitigates corporate burnout. And one last thing is, if people argue that in the last 50 years industrial growth has been slow, if it has been slow, then it is also far from saturation. So if it has been slow, we have a lot of opportunities ahead.
Yeah, we love that optimistic take, Chiranjib sir. Partha sir, I'll come to you. I think both 𝗕𝗵𝘁 sir and Chiranjib sir spoke about a stable talent ecosystem. What I would like to understand is how does this stable talent ecosystem build itself up, become more capable to meet the demands of the industry, of the technology industry, of the the enterprise operations ecosystem, so that they get better roles, better career, better options. And the thing that we have always been harping about in Kolkata Calling is that the talent should not have to leave this city, leave this state, but we can actually bring back talent. How does that capability building occur from your viewpoint?
Okay, first I will talk about the culture of the city. Culture of the city is a lot of family orientations. People will have a family orientation. People are clan in nature. The Calcutta has got a word called Adda is there. So clan organization, Adda centric, family orientation with a high degree of pedigree for our academic institutions like IIT, what Amita was trying to tell, the Institute of Recruits and all, high degree of pedigree of people, which is available in Kolkata. Now, let's get back to an organizational context. Why people matters most for the organization. Fundamental knowledge is like that. If you have got attritions and all, you start losing the organization domain knowledge, what he has built over a time, the institutional knowledge, what has been built over a time. Actually, that you give in the hand of today, in the world of AI and all, you give in tools in the hand of few tech people who are coming and all, who are doing a transformational job. Tools play a very minimal portion. The knowledge about the organization, how the transformation can be done, which has been acquired over a period of time. And then they will be able to understand. I started my word as an orchestration, and in my orchestra, an example I was bringing up in my previous question when you asked me, then I was giving that example. They will be able to stitch together. You lose them, you lose that value, you lose that institutional knowledge over there. It becomes immense important for you to build a team for you who will be able to deliver and transform your own organization. That way, Calcutta plays an important role, and that what Chiranjib, 𝗕𝗵𝘁 were telling, I absolutely second that.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, stable ecosystem, talent ecosystem, they act as the glue. And as you rightly said, with that institutional knowledge, they facilitate, give more context to the tools, the AI engines to operate more effectively, give more recommendations that are in line with the existing organization's priorities. Which brings me to the whole question of technology as a competitive advantage. We all know that, right? Over the last few decades, earlier, as 𝗕𝗵𝘁 sir was saying, technology, digital transformation was just seen as some kind of improvement in the process. But right now, it's no longer on the sidelines. It is considered the competitive advantage for businesses. To that, Partha, I will come to you. We are seeing enterprises are investing in AI, cybersecurity, cloud, all of these. How does an enterprise judge whether this is actually being successful from a business perspective? I am making, enterprise investments in taking enterprise AI, private AI Nianilam. But how does success look like for these decisions? How do I measure it?
See, the success is not about buying the finest new technology for your organization. It is about changing the daily experience of our people to drive actual business growth. True success looks like an algorithmic trust across the entire organization, and it can be shown in two ways, in my view: AI in everybody's hand and believing in the outcome which is coming out of the AI. Okay. Every single employee, whether they are in sales, HR, finance, or operation, has a digital co-pilot for them that effortlessly handle their repetitive, time-consuming tasks across various software tools, giving them more time to focus on the strategic growth which is required, and they should be able to build the customer value. That's what I believe in. AI should be there in everybody's hand. That's the first objective. Second, I was trying to tell, believing the outcome. A cultural shift where employees and leaders truly trust the insights and decisions generated by the AI. That cultural shift is there. So we'll all tell that, the journey when we started having this does not give full answer, give partial answer, all such things used to come. Those days are over. What I see is that those days are over. AI has become more reliable, deeply aligned with the business reality. So actually, it has an ability to move people from, guessing the technology, whether guessing the output is correct, confidently run the operation. It is possible now to win in the market. It is actually possible. It is doing, and it is sustainably, it can do this for us.
Thank you so much for that, Partha sir. 𝗕𝗵𝘁, I would come to you as the Group Chief Digital Officer. You are in the thick of things when it comes to investing in new technology. How are you seeing these new tools, new technology? You mentioned CoWorks when we were earlier speaking. How are you seeing within your organization and maybe other organizations that you have visibility of? How are they using this AI, data, and digital ecosystem to differentiate themselves from their competitors, from your lens in the boardroom?
Yeah, so we work across some 8 different sectors, and there are 38 plus companies that we operate in. And if I look at this and broadly in the industry as a whole, right, I see 3 repeating patterns. The first pattern, right, is what I call revenue intelligence. So revenue intelligence is basically hyper-personalization in consumer business, where AI is driving SKU level, customer level, or even management level decisions, right? So how do we use AI, data, and digital ecosystems to drive revenue intelligence? That is number one, right? The second pattern that we have is that how does this drive what we call operational intelligence, right? And that is more classical. So it is predictive maintenance, energy optimization, supply chain orchestration, right? And that is more on the industrial, the core infrastructure business and so on. The third pattern that I see, right, is what I call decision intelligence. Now, decision intelligence is basically where we are using things like co-pilots, agents, conversational interfaces or bots, right, within the enterprise itself. So it will help leaders within the organization make decisions in a better way. So I think I agree with Partha here, right? Differentiation though does not come from the tooling, right? Everybody has the same tools nowadays. It comes from, everyone has some form of AI, everybody has some digital ecosystems, they have their data in one place in some data lake or other. Differentiation actually comes from your own proprietary data, right? And it comes from your understanding of the context, the knowledge that your people holds, right? So if you look at it, differentiation typically would come from your own data that you are sitting in. Of course, the whole business processes that you have knowledge of and the knowledge of the people that they bring in. And then you can leverage all these tools to, to do whatever you want. So if you look at it in a very abstract way, right, models have become commodities. Proprietary data and workflows is what makes the real differentiation.
And I think to tie back to what Partha said earlier, which was regarding the institutional knowledge being important to give you that competitive advantage. Chiranjib sir, I'll come to you. With the advent of AI, the IT industry has started seeing different kind of shocks. It has started evolving rapidly. To talk about how systems integration or this consulting-led transformation through AI, what do you see as the role of IT companies evolve and adapt into the future? Because AI, if they are not replacing humans, but they are definitely changing the nature of work they are doing. So how do IT companies react to this changing landscape? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you. So who are systems integrators? Systems integrators are firms who may or may not have products of their own. If they have some products of their own, that product has a demand, then they would generate a good revenue from those products. But there are many systems integrators who do not develop products. So which means that there is dependency on third-party players or on original equipment manufacturers, who are maybe the global leaders in their domains. But the systems integrator or SI remains dependent on them. Now, under those circumstances, the SI has huge risks to carry, like shrinking margins because of extreme competition, or control of price by the original equipment manufacturers. If they know that their product is already accepted, then obviously the pricing which comes to a SI may not be too profitable for the SI. Commercial terms, there are stringent commercial terms from the original equipment manufacturers, whereas customers would accept flexible commercial terms from the SI. So obviously that's a difficult context to work. So fundamentally, systems integrators have been behaving like shock absorbers. They have been handling supply chain disruptions, geopolitical problems which create availability of products, macroeconomic factors affecting pricing. Under those circumstances, it has become mandatory for systems integrators to actually evolve into successful services or consulting firms, which again means building services around certain domains or products which the customers would accept, understanding the services which would be in demand possibly in this decade or 7 to 10 years from now, business models which would be sustainable, services which would give them predictable revenue in future. Dependency on product reduces that prediction ability on business. So to get predictable revenue, services which will be relevant, systems integrators, many of them are trying to actually evolve into those kinds of services. And now, with AI coming in, those services are being made much more efficient in terms of efficiency, optimization, predictability. So systems integrators who have been working on maybe earlier products, say, I'll give one or two examples from our industry. You have been working on something like databases. They have started using AI to actually become more and more efficient in autonomous databases. Systems integrators who have been implementing ERP have started using AI very deeply into ERP to be able to get more and more predictable insights for the customer. Systems integrators who have been started working on clouds, they are using AI to optimize cloud expenses, which is very, very critical for the customer. So this is the journey which today's SIs are trying to follow.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Chiranjib. And I think the verdict from the panel is very clear that, invest in AI, technology will become will help you become a differentiator, but you also have to have other things in place, your people, processes, and other systems in place to take advantage of these new age technology. While there is a lot of optimism and a lot of positivity in the room, there are also certain concerns around AI, cybersecurity, and the future enterprise. So I'll come to Partha with that. We talked about the boundaryless organization, enterprises are becoming more connected, but that also increases the complexity of exposure to cyber risks. So from your lens, how can organizations become more resilient from these kind of risks, these kind of shocks that are a natural, I would say, byproduct of more connected enterprises, more connected ecosystems?
Is that I'm not going to focus on data sovereignty, data privacy, or data localization risk. Okay, I leave that for the time being. This is not part of the discussion. Now let's get into that when we are trying to operate in SaaS with AI and all, how technically people should operate. I'm focusing over there. Okay, so there are larger risks which is there, so that has to be dealt at a separate level and all for the industry to be dealt with. If you look at that for an organization today you are connecting more, it is becoming, risks are becoming complex because you are connecting different software, tools, let AI agents work across those softwares and tools. You are actually inherently opening up doors and windows for different systems. So old school security, if I go back 10 years down the line and all, it means putting heavy padlocks on every door and windows, which often made it incredibly frustrating for employees or users to do their jobs and slow down business development. That used to happen. Modern resilience is about building a smart, invisible security guard. It's like a polite digital security guard who moves along with the data. And then whenever something which is happening, that polite guy will suddenly immediately, will tell this is what is happening into the system, watching the data and watching the movement and different system in real time, and instantly block threats and does not stop innovation and give user the absolute freedom and confidence to use the AI technologies today. So move and shift, if it does not happen, if you get into the padlock, you are actually stopping the door of an innovations. So as I said in the beginning, there are certain issues of governance, data sovereignty. I'm not getting into that. I'm focusing on how to design a system of resilience and reliable systems over there.
So, Chiranjib, so I will ask you, so while Partha sir said that, you need to use technology to solve for the pitfalls or the risks that the technology brings, what can companies do to build this kind of resilience as part of their transformation? The things that Partha talked about, how can companies adapt the new technologies within their transformation agenda so that these safeguards are in place, but not at the cost of business efficiency, process efficiency, user experience, customer experience? How do you build that?
See, a lot of companies, they are able to successfully transform. And you would find more companies unable to successfully transform. Now, there is a major difference between these two categories of organizations and their approaches. So, fundamentally, you would see that people who have successfully transformed are successfully transforming. We have observed that they follow certain strategies right from the beginning while they think of digital transformation. So they reimagine their business, they recreate, reevaluate their value chain, they reconnect with their customers to position the organization and their products and services, and they constantly rebuild their organization by reskilling. So without reimagining your business, you will not be able to do any new initiative. Without creating a value chain that the market accepts, you will not be able to reach anywhere. And obviously reconnecting with the customers and rebuilding organization. Fundamentally, companies who are successful have broadly followed these strategies. Everything that they do, technically or functionally, revolves around these 4 pillars. And you will find the other category of companies who are struggling to transform for multiple reasons. I can tell you one or two, three of them. One is creating multiple startups within an organization. That is one, without understanding the organization's goals. Secondly, continuously doing digital experiments without understanding what management wants, what are the key objectives of the firm. Unless there is convergence between startups, digital experiments, and what the company's goals are, obviously these things don't lead anywhere. This happened with a company called Telefónica Digital, a Spanish company who opened up Telefónica Digital in London in 2011. So huge investments, new CEO, huge infrastructure and all that, and created multiple experiments, multiple applications. And after 3 years, all their business leaders decided they will neither implement, nor do they understand all this. And after 3 years, it was shut. Now, these things will happen if without a proper goal and convergence to keep experimenting. The third thing is cost cutting. Cost cutting cannot be a substitute. A lot of companies think that they will become profitable by just cost cutting, which means that you are fundamentally not changing your business. You are just compromising somewhere. That compromise does not lead to success. So this is something which differentiates the two categories of companies. That has been my observation.
Yeah. And I'll come to Amitabh, taking cue from what Chiranjib said. So obviously, RPSG is a diversified conglomerate. So there are traditional old businesses, there are new businesses. Application of AI, Gen AI within these businesses will require a different approach. How are you handling these experimentations, to use that word, and transforming it into real value for the business? That's one, because these are so many different kinds of business or sectors. And secondly, you seem very excited about the possibilities of Gen AI. What is it about Gen AI that excites you from a diversified conglomerate, conglomerate's context?
Yeah, I think not only for us, I think it is true for Partha also at ITC. I think real value will show up where 3 conditions will converge, right? Clear, repeatable business decision, the proper data to work with, and like CB was saying, right, a willingness to redesign the underlying workflow. Now, you cannot say, I will do exactly what I have been doing so far, and I still expect a value to emerge. It will not happen. So now, if I look at it from this lens and see what is working today, I think if I look broadly at areas, right, across the industry, I think customer service and sales co-pilots, engineering and code generation productivity, finance closing and auditing, marketing content to a certain extent, demand forecasting, and then processing, what I call heavy documentation, right? This, I think, are clear wins today, right? And then there are quite a lot of experimentation, right, which are slightly open-ended. And some of what people are doing with Gen AI, without, like CB was saying, right, without clear P&L ownership, with no workflow being redesigned, right? Those are the experiments, right? And it is not entirely bad because people are kind of understanding how things work, provided you can kind of govern it and can limit it. I think there is a value in it also. But I would say, if you look at it from my point of view, right, my litmus test is, if you cannot name the decision being improved, if you cannot define the workflow that is redesigned or the metric that is being moved, then there is no value in it. It is noise, right? Because the ROI of AI is not there in the model. It is the workflow that you are brave enough to redesign, right? If you are brave enough to touch some of your fundamental workflows and touch your business models, right, then there is a real value that you will see. And if you talk about excitement, right, if you ask me what really excites me about Gen AI, particularly within large organizations, right, and there are two things, right. The first thing is what I call a democratization of capability. So skills that used to need specialists, right, like writing code, analyzing data, drafting contracts, designing creatives, almost everybody can do, right? Because the capability is democratized by Gen AI. Second, what I say is the collapse of the knowing and doing gap. So if you look at large organizations, we have a huge amount of institutional knowledge, which is there in some documents, some emails, some Slack threads, maybe some SharePoint sites. And Gen AI has that capability of knowing and enabling us to do something about it, right? That is a huge win, I think. And I find it very exciting. What is most interesting is that it gives the capability for a frontline employee, not a data scientist, to build something which creates real value.
Yeah.
And that is when AI stops being a project. It becomes a culture.
Partha sir, because Amitabh pointed in your direction from ITC landscape, I'm sure he's also curious how you are handling the Gen AI applications in different diversified businesses. If you can share a little bit from your experience of using AI, Gen AI within a diversified organization, that would also, I believe, enrich to what Amitabh sir said.
No, I will get into this at different organization at a different inflection point of using AI. But what we see, that I also speak to a lot of people like Amitabh and a lot of other CEO folks. What I'm trying to, what I'm speaking with them, and what I gather is that everybody is at a juncture of where prototyping has ended. People have got few values, which people have got few values out of the ecosystem. It does not commensurate with the spending what you have done on AI. But remember, there is a journey of technology where there are a lot of heavy lifting which is required across the organization, across the board. None of the investment which are made today, which is, that people are claiming that, I did not see light of the day for some of the technologies I have done. It has given them enormous learning. Everybody has understood some value. At the cost of some money, somebody has spent $1, somebody has spent $1,000, $100, whatever money they have spent. That learning will help create the path towards the success of their own company. That is going to build. And people are very confident. I never heard anybody saying nothing will happen. So this is not, I will do, it does not give me value. I have not heard anybody. Whoever is you did spend money, they're in a learning cycle. It is going like this, but moment they start utilizing the full value, it'll actually go off. The moonshot will happen for that company.
Yeah. So taking Partha's point itself, the learning part of it, reskilling, skilling has become the buzzword in this age of changing technology landscape. And this is probably, I'll open it up to all three of you, whoever wants to pick whichever one. So in your opinion, what are some of the skills that will matter most for professionals in the next few years? And anybody, Chiranjib, 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗂, Partha.
So I think, if you ask me, right, I think the first thing is the ability to ask the right question. I think critical thinking as a competency, I think is one of the main things. The second thing which all of us talked about in some way is depth of domain. Right? So be it operations, finance, customer, supply chain, whatever it is, right? The third is, cross-functional capability. The ability to connect dots across disciplines. And the fourth, in my view, is the clarity of communication. Are you able to ask the right questions so that you get the right answers? So I think these are the four basic skill sets that people would need going forward, right? They're very basic, very fundamental, but I think they'll be important.
Chiranjib?
Your next question or same one?
No, the same. Any new skills you want to add to the portfolio?
So 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗂 has actually said it all. I also feel that domain knowledge is most critical. Any domain, especially since we are discussing technology, it can be infrastructure consulting, can be network consulting, can be technology consulting like databases, can be cloud architecture, can be ERP implementation. Domain knowledge is fundamental, basic. If that is there, then on top of that you can build a lot of other skills. 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗂 spoke about exactly the right skills. Now since we are in the AI age and we are discussing AI to such depth, to a certain level, obviously it appears that some knowledge of basic maths, basic stats, some knowledge of basic neural networks, some data science knowledge, that may actually help for people with a sound domain knowledge. But without domain knowledge, all these may not help.
Partha, your 2 cents on the skills.
Okay,
sir.
So I was actually trying to, I'm actually trying to summarize in the AI word what 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗂 and Chiranjib was trying to tell. Is I will put it in 3 buckets. One is contextual data literacy. You need to know your domain, network, these, blah, 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 blah. It's a contextual data literacy. Number 2, 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗂 was also trying to tell is that, critical thinking and algorithmic trust. If you can do critical thinking of your processes, you can actually have faith in your algorithmic trust. That's the second thing. Third is that you need to have your cognitive orchestration working for you. So you should not move out from doer to a conductor. Doer job is doable today. You need to become a conductor. These are the 3 skills, whatever, if I miss something, these are the 3 things. I believe I'm trying to use the words, the TLS, 3-letter acronyms, like the way we used to choose and all. People don't want to see those words in the note. These are the 3 words I wanted to use as a part of summarization of this.
Sure. One thing, a question without which we can't end when we talk about technology, AI. There is still a lot of fear in the general audience, the general population about AI taking away their jobs. And we are not using this as a clickbait headline, but just want to understand, how do you see the workforce evolving with AI, with Gen AI? Do you see some reduction in jobs? Do you see more reorientation, modification of the work that they do? What is your take from your lens? Let's start with, let's say, Chiranjib.
Yeah, so I believe that it's a matter of redefinition, redefining them, reskilling. Like I had mentioned a few domains a few minutes back. So it's in certain organizations, I had spoken of domains like database, cloud, ERP, etc. So people who actually have extreme domain knowledge around each of these domains, obviously their jobs would not go. But what they can do is they can use AI to do their jobs much better. That is important. So organizations, I can tell you from the systems integrated point of view, since I belong to that systems integration community, that organizations would expect such business leaders or even implementers or technocrats to actually build over and above their domain knowledge. So application of AI in each of these domains effectively to ensure more and more efficient and optimized results, outcomes for the customers, that is what we will expect from our employees. We will definitely not expect a reduction in jobs, but redefining them. We are clear from the SI community.
Partha, and then I will come to 𝗕𝗵𝘁.
I will go back to what I said is the 3 skills, what I said. Any doer without having no context, knowledge of a context, does not have critical thinking ability, are going to lose the job. If they are trained to move up or move out from their current doer job without zero context knowledge and zero critical thinking ability, you have to move up in the value chain. They are there and they can be deployed in the ecosystem. These 3 combination it's really a threat for them. Let's face it. And these are in my view, this is what is the challenge what AI brings to the table. Previously we used to have a doer's job. Now we will not have doer's job. With these 3, people will have job. That's all from my side.
𝗕𝗵𝘁.
I think I fundamentally agree. I think the redefinition and reskilling are of course important. But I think it is also important to kind of look at it very practically, right? So when you have more conductors and less doers, right, there will be some changes in demographics, right? With the number of people who are actually, for example, coding, right? When we move from a primarily human-driven coding process to a code generation and testing automation process, obviously there will be impact, right? So this kind of changes are not new, right? It has happened throughout history, right? And my favorite story is about the gaslighters in London, right? And the way that went for decades, right? Centuries actually. And those jobs went away, right? It does not mean that people did not have anything else to do. But to be brutally honest, right, whenever we have a work which needs to be done now, we ask both ourselves and our partners like CB, and we'll ask them, right, so are you using AI to automate the work, right? If you are running, for example, SOC, right, as I move to a CM world with a lot of AI in it, right, there will obviously be less of human intervention and a lot of intelligence operating with some core domain experts kind of conducting that orchestra in Partha's language, right? So overall, will lesser number of more skilled people be able to do some of these fundamental jobs? Absolutely yes. What we are banking on is that there will be so much work which is generated by this, and we have enormous headroom, right, as an economy. If you look at India, we have enormous headroom. So that hopefully will absorb, and all of us will operate at a very different level. That is the way I would like to think about it. Cautiously optimistic, but no blank promises that everybody's job will be protected. If people don't reskill, upskill, the jobs are not protected. That is the truth.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very important underline that we should throw there to that. But without letting the pessimism creep in, as Amitabh said, cautious optimism is important. But to lighten up the mood, gentlemen, we promised we'll wrap it up in 1 hour. We are almost at the close of the hour mark. So just to lighten up this for our 3 stalwarts here, we have a few rapid fire. I did not decide who I will ask the question, so you might get anything from the roll of the die. So let's start with Partha. Partha, one technology that you think is overhyped today?
Generative AI without context.
Okay. To Chiranjib, one technology that will truly transform enterprises in the future?
Actionable analytics, marketing analytics, and financial analytics, both.
Okay. Slightly different one for Amitabh. One word to describe Kolkata's future.
I think I'll use the word awakening.
Awakening? Okay. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Coming to Partha again, let's go round robin. With your decades of experience, one leadership lesson that has stayed with you till today?
20% take, 80% adoption. Hence, customer is God, they will remain as God.
Okay. Next one to Chiranjib. Crisis meeting, say coffee or tea. What is your go-to beverage?
Coffee.
To wake you up. Amitabh, we've talked about skilling, learning, all of that. To underline that, one habit every young professional should inculcate, should build today.
I think document and learn. I think today's young generation doesn't document enough and learning new skills.
Yeah, okay. Final one, we'll go with Partha. Enterprises are doing so many different things. One thing you feel they should stop doing?
Buy purpose-built software without planning to connect them.
Okay.
I think I want to jump in quickly and say that don't treat AI as an IT project. It is a business model and transformation project, not an IT project.
What is it that excites you most about BITC 26?
First of all, connecting with so many peers, vendors, partners, technology, ecosystem builders and all, it's a fantastic platform for all of us to go and learn a lot of things, see see it from practical perspective, learning from them and all. It's a huge opportunity for people, huge opportunity for everybody. And also in Kolkata, we see very few such events which goes up to this scale. I think BITC has always has grown beyond, that what was the expectations and all. Feedbacks were great. And this is what I'm expecting from BITC this year. Also, again, that's all from my side.
Wonderful. Partha, I know you have to leave, so I'll close the podcast out with our other 2 guests. But thank you so much, Partha, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom with our guests and audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
To coming to Chiranjib, obviously, as the sort of the figure holding BITC 26 up, my question would be, what would your message be to the attendees as well as people who are thinking whether they should attend or not?
So the objective of BITC is to actually establish Bengal as a preferred IT destination, for which we need decision makers, we need partners, we need consultants, we need implementers, we need the entire community with us. We need original equipment manufacturers, we need systems integrators, we need large corporates with medium-sized, small, medium, large. We need such corporate organizations, we need academicians, so we need all. Now, one expectation which we would have from these kind of conversations are that the people who are investing in BITC, the sponsors, partners, participants, they should actually find business potential in Bengal. That's very important, so that they stay with us continuously. And the audience or the decision makers who would attend, they should be able to find the right solutions to their business problems. Only then there is a convergence. So that is what our expectation is.
Wonderful. And finally, coming to 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗆 sir. 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗆 sir, there are multiple themes along which the BITC 26 is organized. But from your lens, what are 2 or 3 things that you are very keen to follow? These themes emerge, these conversations take center stage. What would those be?
I think if you look at how we are looking at events like this, right? There are 3 levels of conversations which will emerge, right? One is basically more foundational in nature, which converges around core technologies like databases, like CP was saying, infrastructure, cybersecurity, and so on. Everything that helps us build a connected infrastructure. The second area that people are looking at is how do you leverage the data that you have in context of the businesses that you run, and how do you use AI and data to help drive your business forward, right? So I think people are coming to this event primarily with these 2 asks, right? And what I'm hoping is that the conversations that we have focus around what is working and what is not working. It focuses around Eastern India, right? Where Kolkata is the kind of hub, and it kind of generates real partnerships. The partnership could be between corporates and startups. It could be between academia and industry, between Kolkata and the broader ecosystem. It could be primarily around what kind of industries could come to India, to Kolkata, and help us grow this region. I think primarily if you look at Kolkata, Kolkata is so nicely geographically positioned, right? It has such an intellectual powerhouse, right? With all, all the people who make it. I came back to Kolkata after 26.5 years, right? With the kind of energy and the knowledge which resides here. I think we are looking forward to having more and more industries discover the talent, come and work with us and help us drive growth in Eastern India, right? So that I think is the objective.
Wonderful. And I think, Chiranjib, 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗆, I think your words, your passion, I would say, the belief in Kolkata, the ecosystem. Thank you so much for taking the time out of a very busy schedule. You are all in different parts of the country, but hopefully on 19th of June, all of you are there in Kolkata for the 17th edition of the Business IT Conclave BITC 26, being organized by Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry in partnership with a host of companies, sponsors, and well-wishers who believe that BITC is not just another technology event. It's a platform bringing together, as our guest said, enterprise leaders, innovators, policymakers, startups, academia, the wider ecosystem to discuss what the future of connected businesses really looks like, but more importantly, to showcase to India as well as the world what Kolkata really looks like when it comes to the business of IT. With that, I would like to thank all of you for listening to this. And with that, we'll close our podcast. Thank you, Chiranjib. Thank you, 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗆.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.